Albert Einstein once said, "In matters of truth and justice, there is no difference between large and small problems, for issues concerning the treatment of people are all the same." And the treatment of people across the world in a small village in rural Africa is just as important as the treatment of people here.
Mozambique is a country located on the southeastern coast of Africa. It occupies a space equivalent to the coastline between Maine and the tip of Florida. To the east, it borders the Indian Ocean. To the south is South Africa. Zimbabwe and Zambia are to the west, and Malawi and Tanzania are to the north. The country is composed of flat coastal plains, mountains, savanna, and forests. The land is fertile, and Mozambicans grow corn, sugarcane, tobacco, rice, tea, and many fruits. While it never gets too cold in the tropics, there are warm and cool seasons. Its seasons are the opposite of ours because it's in the southern hemisphere. Mozambique has a long and interesting history. In 1497, when the Portuguese navigator Vasco da Gama landed, there was no country called Mozambique. The area now known as Mozambique was drawn by European politicians in 1884 as they divided Africa into colonies that each European nation would control. Mozambique was given to Portugal, who had long used its trading posts. Slaves were for many decades Mozambique's most profitable export while under Portuguese control. While under their control, the Portuguese also built roads, schools, hospitals, and government structures in Mozambique. It is because of colonization that Portuguese is still the official language used in these places. In 1975, after 10 years of fighting, Mozambique became independent from the Portuguese. For the first time, black Mozambicans could be leaders in government, work as doctors and lawyers, and go to the university. However, 10 years of fighting for freedom left the country in ruins. 90% of the Portuguese settlers left, taking everything they could with them, filling the wells with concrete and gumming up the machines in the factories they left behind. For a country of 14 million people, only 80 physicians remained. Soon following independence, another war broke out against the newly independent black government, instigated by apartheid South Africa, where blacks were not equal to whites. Because of this, the country suffered severe food shortages and famine. In 1990, war left Mozambique the poorest country in the world. Although peace came in 1992, the country is still currently recovering from the damages of nearly 3 decades of war. The average life expectancy in Mozambique is 48 years old. For comparison, the average life expectancy in the U.S. is 78 years old.
The challenges facing the country continue to be immense. HIV spread significantly during the war, as people were separated from their families and traveled great distances across the country to look for safety. 1 out of 6 Mozambicans is infected. The war, and now HIV, have left many families broken and many children orphaned. Public infrastructure like water and electricity are still being repaired from war damages. City services like hospitals are still struggling to accommodate to the enormous slums that sprung up around city centers as people fled the countryside for safety. Mozambique is still among the 20 poorest countries in the world. About half of Mozambicans have no reliable access to clean drinking water. Hundreds of thousands of children have no access to education. 1.6 million children have been orphaned. The current status of Mozambique is improving. Even though Mozambique has many problems, the people who live there are like any people across the world. Mozambicans laugh and dance. They sing and play games and smile like cute children and enjoy cooking and eating good food.
There is much good work being done across the country. For example, there is the work of the Salesian Sisters and the Friends of Inharrime in Inharrime, Mozambique. Inharrime is a small village located on the Indian Ocean in the south of the country. Knowing that educating children can greatly reduce poverty and improve children's lives, the Salesian Sisters of Mozambique founded the Casa Laura Vacuna in Inharrime in 2004. The sisters offer various services to meet the needs of the community. There is an orphanage which provides a home for 90 girls aged 3 and above, as well as a school ranging from pre-K to 12th grade. There are literacy classes for local women, meals, and support for children whose families are too poor to feed their own children. From 2007 to 2009, my sister-in-law Mary Rashabi lived and worked at the Casa Laura Vicuna. My brother Matthew was a Peace Corps volunteer in another Mozambican village. In 2009, my sister-in-law Mary created the non-profit organization Friends of Inharrime to expand and support the work of the Salesian Sisters. Friends of Inharrime sponsors 3 projects.
The first project is the provision of nutritional and educational support to individual children through a sponsorship program that pairs sponsors in the U.S. with children in Inharrime who do not otherwise have access to these resources. The second project is the provision of school lunches to children at the Laura Vicuna primary and secondary schools who often otherwise would not have anything to eat during the school day. The last program provides health care and milk for infants whose mothers cannot breastfeed due to diseases such as HIV or because the children are orphaned. Although the sisters are very skilled at stretching every cent, the number of children in need continues to outpace the money available. Friends of Inharrime was created to allow people in the U.S. to help address the needs of children in Inharrime. People can sponsor a child for $120 a year or make any size donation to support the Formula Milk Project or the school lunch program. Friends of Inharrime has partnered with financial institutions that transfer donations to Inharrime without taking out any money for overhead. 100% of the money donated goes directly to programs in Mozambique.
The work of Friends of Inharrime reminds us of the sameness of people across the world. Justice means helping people when they need it, even in a small village on the other side of the world.